Holiday Luxe. Hi, welcome to another video. Today we're going to make these two spectacular, over-the-top, luxurious arrangements. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Katherine Bergman. I'm a florist with over 30 years experience designing flowers and events, sharing all things floral with you. And during the holiday season, I really go over the top with the designs. So today we're going to do these two incredible arrangements. Are you ready to wow your friends with something like this? Let's get started. So this first arrangement was inspired by this spectacular container I have here. Looks almost like a Fabergé egg. Now this was an estate sale find, and I don't know if it was a ice bucket or what it is, because it looks like it's missing a lid, and it was totally tarnished. So I bought it because I love the shape and I love the feet. Love the handles, and I thought I could do something with this. And so all I did was spray it with my favorite spray paint, the Design Master 24 Karat Pure Gold. Now, I'll link this in the description below. This is a really, really wonderful spray paint. I bought this at the flower market, but I think they do have it on Amazon. The Design Master series is wonderful for, they have for fresh flowers where you can, it's called Just for Flowers, you can actually tint the flowers. And they have the spray paint series, the metallics especially, covers in one coat, and it's just a really beautiful metallic gold with a gorgeous luster. So often if I have tarnished pieces, I'll just spray it gold. So that's what it is. It looks really fancy, but it was a very inexpensive item that's missing a lid and was tarnished. But look how spectacular it is. And the other thing that really inspired this arrangement are these incredible scarlet David Austin roses I found at market yesterday. So this is an actual David Austin rose, not just one that looks like a David Austin rose, and it's called Darcy. And there's like a little tag even on the rose. It says Darcy by David Austin. And so they do have that at the market. They're very expensive. They're sold in packs of 12. In addition to the Darcy roses, I have some Alstroemeria in a scarlet color, really gorgeous. Some red snapdragons and Christmas greens, as well as a little bit of this velvety scented geranium that I grow. I love this with the Darcy rose because I don't know, it just, that velvety texture just sets this off so beautifully. So I'm going to use some of this foliage, just a little bit, and along with the Christmas greens. And then I have an assortment of Christmas things like this burgundy ribbon backed with gold. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not, but maybe. Some red frosted ornaments. Maybe we'll put some in here. I don't know. And then some gold sprays. I just have these as options. After we do the arrangement, I'm going to see if it works. So what I have in here are 2 half blocks of floral foam stacked on top of each other to fill this container. And the container is lined with like a plastic tub of some sort that I found a zillion years ago. And for Christmas greens today, I have cypress as well as the incense cedar. And the incense cedar, well, I guess this is cedar. This is incense cedar with the gold little seed pods. I love this, and I thought it'd be really pretty cascading over our gold container. So that's what we're going to use to green in right now. I'm just going to green in lightly because I kind of want the shape of the container to show and not have like a monstrously huge arrangement in here that covers the container. But we are going to cover the foam a little bit, just a little bit. And I'm just using the cedar as sort of like the background foliage. And because this is holiday, you add some holiday foliage in here and it just makes it very Christmassy, right? Then I'm going to go ahead with our velvety scented geranium. Now I grow this. This is a really beautiful scented geranium. The center of the foliage has sort of these burgundy streaks. And I like the velvety texture to go with this opulent arrangement. I've got velvet ribbon and frosted ornaments. All that velvety texture and velvety finish is that luster. It's a luster that sort of absorbs light and makes everything look super luxe. Okay, I'm going to start with my Darcy Rose. And I have here a little container of my quick dip. You guys know I talk about the quick dip every week. It really, really helps your flowers last a long time. This is quick dip. It's by Floral Life, and I'll link this in the description below. I bought a huge gallon of it because I love it so much from the flower market. But if you're just doing flowers from home, this size is plenty. And what you can do is put it in a little container. I usually put in a container with a lid, but I wanted something with a little wider opening while I'm doing arrangements, and you can keep reusing it. It'll get kind of cloudy and yucky, but what you do is dip your cut stem in there really quickly, just 1 to 3 seconds. And I don't know what kind of magic is in there. It just helps the flowers take up water, and things last so much longer with quick dip. I just can't believe the difference it makes. Okay, so I'm just going to doing a cluster of the beautiful Darcy roses here. I think I want to buy a Darcy rose to grow in the garden for next year. I don't have any dark colored roses in my rose garden. I tend towards peachy, blushy, pinky kind of colors. So I think it'd be nice to add some more dramatic colors. Don't want this to be a purely one-sided arrangement. Although if we add the bow, it might become kind of one-sided, but I'm going to create it as a two-sided arrangement. And even if we have a focal point on one side, it's still viewable from both sides. And even your greenery, you need to dip in your quick dip and help everything last so much longer. It's really quite amazing. I'm not going to dip those Christmas greens because they last anyway. See how pretty this is? It kind of fans out. Love that. The incense cedar. I love greenery that has a purpose other than just greening in. That really adds to the drama and beauty of your arrangement. See how pretty that is on this side? I'm going to add some of the cedar on this side. Okay. So this is what we have so far. We don't have a very large opening to work with, so I don't think we're going to need all these flowers. I bought some of this scarlet alstroemeria because I wanted sort of a filler flower or a background flower that is red. And there are not a lot of background flowers that are red, so I think the alstro is kind of perfect. They're not fully blooming yet since I just bought it yesterday, but they will bloom in time. Just to give you another texture of that beautiful red without adding a different color. So many of the filler flowers are, like white and blush, blue or lavender. You don't have a lot of bright red filler flowers. I realized that one year when I was doing a really lavish party for a very wealthy developer in our area. It's a private party, and we were doing all red for Christmas, and she wanted almost no foliage, and it was really difficult to find things to fill the vase or fill the container. Okay, with just everything all red. But when there's no budget, you can find things. Okay, I'm going to play around and see if we should add the bow. This is a sort of burgundy red velvet ribbon backed in gold. hey, we can go all out today because our container is so spectacular, right? We can go ahead and do something a little crazy. And it's Christmas. So I'm adding the bow in. I left the tails of the bow really, really long so that I can maybe just kind of wind it through the arrangement. That's the great thing about these wired ribbons is you can wind it through your arrangement. Okay, so that's what we have right here. Okay, and then to counterbalance that, I'm going to add a few of the ornaments on the back here. Not the back, but on this side here. These are just regular ornaments that you can buy anywhere, and then I just have them wired on picks so that you can add it into your arrangement. I used to buy the ornaments that are on picks, but they're really hard to find nowadays. So I just wire it myself. Some of these picks are on here from last year and they're too short, so I'm going to take them off and put the bigger picks on there. I actually found the wire picks on Amazon, so I will also link that in the description if you want to use it. They're really, really handy. I use it all the time to add fruits into arrangements, to add ornaments, to add the bow, you know, everything. So I will link that in the description. And buy the longer lengths because you can always cut them short. You don't need to buy like, you know, short ones and long ones. Just buy the longer ones. You can always cut them down. Okay. So I have a cluster of ornaments here. So you see how I'm balancing the bow on this side with ornaments on this side so that you don't have a side that doesn't have something interesting to look at. And they don't have to be identical, right? Did a piece of this fall out? Yeah. Okay. Now let's add some snapdragons. Love snapdragons. They last super long. They have all these great colors. And they have these fun tips that kind of move around in your arrangement. Now, I didn't have a really, specific design in mind when I pulled all these elements together. So I'm kind of playing around with this as we're designing this. So I might have to adjust. We added some snapdragons in here. I'm going to add more of this Darcy rose. This is the one that has the tag. When I first started doing videos, I would make sure I knew exactly how I was going to do each design. I'd practice it. But now I'm much more relaxed because you guys are so nice. And I'm just kind of, designing it with you. Oh, I think I broke the stem. Okay, I'll get another one. Do we add another ornament on this side? I think I'll leave it. Okay. Let me add some roses to this side where we have the ornaments. Ah, another one with the tag I have to remove. Okay. The market is filled with incredible things at the holiday time. I was there yesterday and it was just fun. Filled with garlands and custom wreaths. Supply houses have incredible ornaments. It was just amazing there. It's still broken. Okay. Add a stem, this spectacular alstroemeria. This is some of the healthiest, most robust alstroemeria I've ever purchased. The stems are like so thick. Really gorgeous. That's sort of the difference, you know. Sometimes I don't go to market and I'm doing these videos and I'm buying things from Trader Joe's and it's fine. But when you actually do go to the flower market, the wholesale market, you see that there is sort of a difference in quality in the materials. Okay. So this is what it looks like on this side. This is what it looks like on this side. So it's kind of beautiful from both sides, right? So I think we're good. And then I think I might add a few ornaments on over here. Just want this to look really luxe and luxurious because I think our container really demands it. Just have a little bit of this texture on the side. This ribbon might be a little long. I might cut that tail. The snapdragons are a bit tricky because they're somewhat directional, so you have to be careful where you add it. I don't want it to look like, you know, spidery, so I think I might just concentrate the placement of the snapdragons a little bit and not have it like all through the arrangement. And have like a cluster of them over here to create that sinewy line without it looking, you know, like they're sticking out all over the place. Got to be careful with your line flowers and that they're placed intentionally and not just like sticking out all over your arrangement, right? Okay, I think this is a little bit better placement. Okay, what do you think? Should we stop? Do I need to add more? I might add another ornament here. You know, I always buy from like Michael's, Target, or Hobby Lobby, wherever, lots of these frosted ornaments at Christmas time. They're really, really useful because they're very inexpensive and you can use them in bowls, you know, just a big bowl of ornaments if you're really in a pinch for something. At the base of like amaryllis plants, you know, just something festive that's very inexpensive. think we are almost done. Let's see. What do we do about these, the tails of the ribbon? I'm going to squish it up a little bit, kind of have it cascade down. And then I'm going to do it on this side. I don't want it this long, so I'm going to want to kind of cascade over. I wonder if I should pin it up like this. No, I think it's better like that. Just down. And do we have space for some more of our beautiful incense cedar? I feel like we should have some Christmas greens up here, or down here, or somewhere. We have some here. Got to throw out. Maybe we need a cluster here. It's beautiful. Okay, I think we're done. So here is our first arrangement. Beautiful scarlets and reds in this incredible gold container, accented with velvet ribbon and red ornaments. Spectacular. So this next arrangement is a totally different color scheme. We're going to use light green roses, those beautiful green amaranthus, silver accents, white orchids, beautiful white orchids, white hydrangeas, green trachelium, and white snapdragons. And we're going to do the arrangement in this pewter compote from my husband's family. I've had this for a long time. I don't use it often for flowers because it's just so big, right? And I thought, well, Christmas is special, so we'll do a really luxe arrangement in the silver compote. It takes a lot of material. What I have here is an acrylic tray with 1.5 blocks of Oasis floral foam in here. And it's just not round. You don't have to have a round piece of floral foam for a round tray. You can just have a big block in the middle and kind of design a round arrangement. I'm going to first screen in with this beautiful silvery foliage of the Dusty Miller that I bought at market. There's one grower that grows this very beautiful variety, and I always buy from him. We used to buy loads and loads of this for weddings. So for a long time, this silvery foliage and pale peachy Juliet, David Austin roses, that was like every wedding. There are a lot of trends in weddings. I've seen them all. This is definitely a floral material that does really well if you dip it in the quick dip because it tends to droop if it's not well hydrated. And like hydrangeas, if you get a bunch that droops, you can dunk the whole thing in a tub of water and sometimes it'll rehydrate and be very turgid and last like 2 weeks. It's one of those strange materials that either lasts a long time or just kind of wilts on you. So yeah, I think sort of like a wintry white arrangement with novelty pale green accents. Going to see how much screening in you need to do when you've got a huge block of exposed foam like this. Looks like we might have to use like the whole bunch, the entire bunch. Wow, we used this whole bunch of Dusty Miller to cover the foam, and we're still not completely covered. I have some white hydrangea to fill in some space. So let's go ahead and use that. White hydrangea is your friend for filling in space, right? We also have Christmas greens that we'll add in here as well. Hydrangeas also love this quick dip. At the flower market, a wholesale bunch of hydrangeas is 5 stems. So we got 5 stems here. some brown tips on the hydrangea. That's what I'm picking off. And then we have these gorgeous lemon and lime. It's called lemon and lime, this rose. It's a pale green and white rose. Love this rose. Really beautiful. Very, very long lasting too. So we're going to add in our lemon and lime rose. Oh. The heads are huge. These are gorgeous. So it's a fun color scheme for Christmas. Add in our roses. Now, because the hydrangeas are so large visually, I'm adding in the roses in clusters of 3, just kind of compete visually with the large hydrangea. Kind of in between where the hydrangeas are. This obviously is an arrangement that I'm doing that's going to be viewed from all sides. I'm imagining this as a centerpiece on a large table. Okay. Okay, we've added some roses in here. And I found this really fun trachelium. Usually they're like, you've seen these in like blue or lavender and dark purple. This is a green trachelium kissed with white, almost like a snow or frosted, you know, or sugared on top. So I thought this would be really fun in here for novelty texture and still within our green and white theme. I had purple trachelium in the garden. See, really cute. They also have a green that looks like moss, and I'll use it sometimes if I want something, the arrangement to look like it has moss in it, but I don't want to use real moss. I need something that sticks up a little higher. You have that, the darker green, all green trachelium that's incredible also. And they're very long lasting. So I'm using this sort of as a filler and background flower in here. I'm also going to add some Christmas greens in here since this is a holiday centerpiece, right? So we've got that cedar that we were using in the previous arrangement. See how adding that on the perimeter just is a graceful arch. Very beautiful, right? I mean, instantly makes it more Christmassy, more holiday. Christmas greens last really well, even out of water. So if you buy some and it's cold where you are, just hose it off and put it in something that, like what we have are wax boxes from the greens people. But obviously, if you don't have a wax box, you could just put it in a regular box and line it with a garbage bag or something. You don't want it to be like soaking wet, but you can mist it and it'll stay for a long time if it's cold. You don't even need to put it in a bucket of water. We buy like cases of Christmas greens during this holiday season and just keep it in the walk-in cooler. As long as you keep it moist, it does really well. Okay. There's so many things you can do with the Christmas greens. You can make garlands, obviously. Just little clusters of them with a bow would be very pretty to decorate a wall sconce. Just add a little festivity. And it smells wonderful. Every time I cut a tip, it smells so good in here. There's all sorts of Christmas greens. I love to use the cedar, the Western red cedar, because I love that feathery texture. But you can also buy noble fir. There's also Douglas fir. Even here in California, we have a lot of redwood that they sell because it's a conifer, has little cones on the ends, really pretty too. Okay, so we've got the Christmas greens in here. And we have snapdragons to add in. Beautiful white snapdragons. Because we're doing an all-around arrangement, we don't need to add it in the same way we did the red arrangement, all clustered in one area. We're just going to kind of add it in throughout the arrangement. Now these snapdragons are very fresh, so they haven't bloomed out yet. So we've got many days to go before the blooms have fully blossomed on the spike. But they're very long-lasting flowers. So I'm adding a second layer of snaps. The first layer, I have 3 up here. I'm going to add a second layer of snaps underneath it. But not directly underneath. I want to go kind of in between. Okay. All right. The next fun material we're going to add in are the hanging green amaranthus. Love this material, right? And it's in pale green. I'm going to find some little shorter stem ones. There we go. Get the hanging amaranthus right there. I'm going to add it throughout the arrangement, not just at the perimeter, because it's beautiful kind of cascading over your flowers. See, I'm adding one right here to cascade over the hydrangea. Do another one up here. And because we have an elevated container, it's especially effective, cascading over the rim of your container. Okay, very beautiful, right? Love the amaranthus. Now the amaranthus, they come in a range of colors, but generally the hanging ones, they have burgundy or green, and I also have seen some sort of terracotta or burnt orange color. Okay. So if those fit with your color scheme, then it's a wonderful novelty material to use. Now I also have some silver accents. This is just one big stem of like a silvery leaf that I got from Hobby Lobby. I cut it into sections and put it on picks, and we're just going to add a little here and there just to give it that festive sparkle. It makes that arrangement extra special. Let's see, do I have a tall one for the middle? Yeah, this one. Maybe in the middle here. Really pretty, especially if you have a silver and kind of white scheme going for your holiday table or your holiday decor this year. And these are beautiful stems of dendrobium orchids. I think they are from Singapore. And look at these, incredible, right? Beautiful. So I'm going to add that in here. They're 10 stems in a bunch at the wholesale market, and we used to use a lot of these for weddings. Very long lasting, really dramatic to have this cascading out. And this one, I think, is a little bit, doesn't have enough of a cascade to it. There we go. I don't want to cut it too short. I want it to be dramatic and long coming out of our arrangement. Ooh, just broke the tip of my snapdragon. I'll take that one out, put this one in. These dendrobium orchids are not that expensive. You would think 10 stems of orchids like this would be super expensive, but they were not super expensive. But look how spectacular that is. Look how long the stems are. They're amazing. I would love to see the greenhouse where this was grown because they're not even that expensive, and they must have tons and tons of this all over the place, right? And I love how it just kind of drapes over your arrangement. They also sell cascades of phalaenopsis orchids, which are more expensive, but still not as much as you would think. We used to buy them for weddings a lot for cascading bouquets. They're really amazing. They're 10 stems of huge, beautiful phalaenopsis orchids in a bunch. So I'm just careful to add these orchids in different planes so that it's coming out of this arrangement and it's just making it look extra luxurious and special. This one stem seems to have a missing tip, so I'm going to put that aside. Okay, we're all done. Spectacular, over-the-top centerpiece for Christmas in green, white, and silver. So we pulled out all the stops today, made 2 ridiculously luxurious arrangements for Christmas in very different color schemes. I hope you enjoyed the video today and learned something. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe and click the little bell to be notified when I put out a new video. And a big warm hello to my subscribers who watch me every week. You know I love you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you're going to do for the holidays, how you're going to decorate your house, and what you'd like to see. Meanwhile, go out and buy some flowers, treat yourself to nature's little luxury, and I will see you in my next video.